So here we have a Nissan ENV 200 electric van, and this has got the heated leather steering wheel, and as you can see there's a bit of wear on the leather wheel there. So in this video I'm going to try and also review this product, the leather steering wheel repair kit from Furniture Clinic. So I think most dealers would probably just use a bit of shoe polish or black leather dye just to tidy this up, but I also did look on YouTube and looked at how people were doing this job. I did see one person even using super glue and rubbing it in with his finger. The last time I used super glue without gloves, I ended up in hospital gluing a Tesla seat switch into between my fingers, which was a bit embarrassing. So I have a new respect for super glue and just won't use the stuff now without gloves. But anyway, after looking at various videos, I came across a video demonstrating this stuff, well, like an instruction video, and I was quite impressed with the results, so I thought I'll try it. And this cost £25 including delivery from Amazon, and I'll put a link to it in the description below, including a link to that video which shows how it works. So let's show you the steering wheel. It does look worse now that I've cleaned it. I've given this a really good scrub and it's turned it lighter, but actually that's a good thing, because obviously you want to get all the grime and grease and oils off your hands and things out of the leather. So when it came in, it didn't look as bad as this, and it has made it look worse. But yeah, there we go. So that's a before, and what I'll do is I won't get all of this on camera, but I will start using the kit, film the various stages, and then we'll see what it looks like afterwards. So let's show you what you get in the kit. You get some alcohol cleaner, some degreaser, some binder, and that's really why I bought it, for the binder product. And you get the colorant, you get some sponges, some cloths and some sandpaper. Right. So you get 2 bits of wet and dry, 320 grit and 1200 grit. Yeah, nice and smooth. And then you get 2 foam applicators. They are different thicknesses, but they feel about the same density. But anyway, a thinner and a thicker foam applicator. You then get a bottle of degreaser. You get a bottle of alcohol cleaner. You get the leather binder, which is a watery white liquid, and you get the base colour, which is just obviously a black dye. You get some instructions and you get a cloth. So the first step is you have to clean your steering wheel, and I've done that already. Next step is you use the coarser of the wet and dry, and you've got to rub down the steering wheel, and this is the bit that makes it look worse. But anyway, looking at the video, it will all come good at the end of it. So I'm going to continue with this and smooth out all the worn leather. I've never done this job before, and yeah, if you hadn't watched the video, sanding this obviously makes it so much worse, and you would be quite horrified if you didn't realise this was the right thing to do. So the next step is to use this degreaser, and you need to wipe down the whole steering wheel with the degreaser, maybe twice, to get rid of any oils that are in the leather. I'm using another cloth here, just so I'll reserve the new cloth in the pack for the final process. So that's done, but not much had come off in my case. The cloth isn't too dirty because I'd given this a thorough clean beforehand. It's also a good idea to have a hairdryer or a heat gun just to dry it between each process. So at this stage the steering wheel's looking pretty horrendous, but hopefully when it's done it will be looking like new again. So the next step is to do the same but with the alcohol cleaner, and that removes any traces of the degreaser. So that stage removed quite a bit of dirt from the steering wheel. But I would also just say, don't use much. I've only used less than a quarter of a bottle, so this kit is going to do quite a few steering wheels. Again, I'm going to go round with the heat gun just to speed up the process of drying. So the next step is to use the leather binder, and because the cleaning steps has possibly raised the grain of the leather, it can become a little bit rough again. This is what it says in instructions. However, in my case, the steering wheel isn't as bad as some could be, and it is still nice and smooth. But the instructions say use one of the foam applicator pads and you rub the binder into the worn leather area, allow it to dry, and do that up to 3 times, and that strengthens the worn leather. So this stuff is a white milky substance, and we're just going to go round and wipe this into the worn surfaces of the wheel. So that's the first coat done, so I'm going to put the heat gun on this again, let this dry, and yeah, I'll do this 2 or 3 times. You use this stuff very sparingly, so again I've only used, I don't know, 1/10 of the bottle, so yeah, this kit is going to last a long time. So I've now been round with the hardener 3 times and also gone round with the heat gun, but it is still slightly tacky, so I'm going to leave this to dry for 15 minutes, maybe half an hour. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. So this is now dry, and the next step is you use that finer wet and dry or sandpaper, and you smooth out any rough leather, but I don't think I've really got any in my case. This is all pretty smooth anyway, so I'll just go over very lightly and just smooth out that little bit there. Really, I think that's the only area where I've got a bit of leather where the grain is standing up, and maybe across there. And then to get rid of the dust that's caused, you can go back to the alcohol cleaner and give it a wipe round with a rag. So now we're on the final stage where you add the colouring. So you need to put this on with the foam applicator, and you need to dab it gently, and it's better to use lots of build up lots of thin layers than put it on thick. And this is where it's going to really start looking better. So yeah, I will continue doing this, and we'll be able to see the results shortly. So that's 1 coat done. I'm going to let that dry, but again, this stuff you use really sparingly, and this bottle is going to do many steering wheels. One thing that's just worth noting is I am blending it round to the good part of the steering wheel, so covering the good leather. And this is just after 1 coat, and it's looking really good. So I am blending it round into the stitching. I'm not fully doing all the back, but just giving it a very quick wipe. But obviously getting most of the product on the warm bit, but pretty much doing all of the steering wheel. And you can see even after 1 coat, you cannot see where the good leather matches the worn leather. So I'm going to do another 2 coats, but yeah, even after 1 coat it is looking quite impressive. So that's it, I've done 3 coats and it's now drying. So the instructions say that it takes about 3 hours to dry, and then you can start using the steering wheel, but it then cures properly over the next 7 days. So what do I think of the results? Well, I'm very impressed. A quick glance at this steering wheel, you just wouldn't know now that there was any wear on it, and the way that the black dye has blended into the other parts of the steering wheel just is brilliant. You know, I haven't done right up here, but you cannot tell. It's finished really well. Obviously the original part of the steering wheel, the original leather, does have a texture, but where it's worn is smooth, and obviously I've sanded this as well during the process, and it is all going to be smooth. But steering wheels go smooth anyway with use. The key thing is there's no difference in colour, and yeah, it's done a much better job than I thought it would do. It also feels right as well. Obviously it is smooth, but it makes that sort of noise as your fingers rub over it. I guess it's because all the oils have been removed from the leather. But yeah, it's got the right sort of feel. It makes that sort of rough noise as your fingers go over it. So yeah, I'm impressed. And if someone jumped in this and looked at this, they wouldn't notice any wear at all. It all feels right. I do wonder though, if you've got a steering wheel that was in worse condition than this one, whether you would want some sort of filler for filling holes and cracks, because I've got a little bit there, I'm not sure whether that's focusing, where there is a little bit of rough leather and maybe a bit of filler in there, and sanded down might have been better. So if you got chunks out the steering wheel, which I know some worn steering wheels can have, then you are going to need some sort of filler product. But if it's just light wear like this was, then yeah, I'm very impressed with this product. So yes, I can recommend it. Obviously time will tell, but in preparing a vehicle, getting it ready for sale, yeah, I'm very impressed with the results of this, and well worth the £25. But of course this kit is going to last much longer than just the one steering wheel. I suspect you're going to do 5, 6 or 7 steering wheels. You might have to buy some wet and dry paper, but for the dye and the chemicals, you're going to at least get 5 uses out of the kit. So there we go, that's it for this one. I'm a happy customer. I'm quite impressed with this product. So if you want to buy it, the link for it is in the description below, and if you found this video useful, please do click that thumbs up button on YouTube, because that helps other people find this channel, and I'll see you on the next video.